Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, and it's time for another reaction request. If you have a video that you'd like me to react to, check the description below. There's a link that'll take you to a Google document with all the relevant information. So today we've got another Civvie 11 video, done a couple of these now, and this one is on Robocop, Remember the Titus. So I'm guessing this is a Robocop. I say Robocop. Just shows you how hololive-brained I am. Robocop, Remember the Titus. I mean, I wish it was a Robocop, but, no, Robocop, this is, I'm guessing, a Robocop game. I have seen, I think only the first Robocop film. I mean, it's a good movie, but, I heard the series kind of just only goes downhill from there, and, I think the second one's okay, maybe, but I never bothered checking it out. Yeah, the first film, definitely one of those all-time classics, and I wasn't really aware that there even were games, but I mean, of course there are. It's an action movie that was popular in the 90s, and although I think the first one came out in the late 80s, but yeah, of course they made games. But yeah, I know nothing about them, and yeah, I've enjoyed Civvie's content so far from the two videos I saw, so eager to see another one. Let's just go ahead and get into this. Here we go.
Oh no! Robocop!
Civvie's Dungeon. Yeah, that music, that iconic music, I mean, that's got to be very protected.
Whenever I make a video on a shitty FPS game or anything like that, I gotta check to see if GGG Man Lives already did a video on it, and sometimes he has, you know, dude's been around a while. Imagine how happy I was when I found out he hadn't done Bad Day LA or From Dusk Till Dawn. But there's always gonna be some overlap, like Unreal 2 or Blood 2 or a Capstone game. And I was so happy to find that he didn't even play the Matrix levels in Tech War, and then I played them, and I'm a worse, more broken person for doing so. Long story short, good channel, a gentleman and a scholar, but you're in the dungeon now, and we cut deep to show you all the horrors that lay under the surface. The malformed, the grotesque, the horrific. And sometimes you get a game and you boot it up, and a few minutes into it, you're like, yeah, this is an episode. Robocop, the legend, the hero, the actual Jesus allegory. No, seriously, Paul Verhoeven said so, see?
Really? Okay,
he's resurrected and walks on water.
American
I'm not making
Jesus.
this up. They made a lot of Robocop games back in the 90s, and there's a Robocop FPS game. Why wouldn't there be? We've seen Aliens, Predators, Terminators, Judge's Dredd, but in 2003 we finally got a Robocop game from developer Titus Games, who you may know from Titus the Fox, or let me see, they made a Superman game, but it's probably not that Superman game. Oh no, it's that one.
Oh,
no time to
well,
wait.
This is gonna be great. Yeah, this,
You may not have heard this before, but this game isn't very good. And Carmageddon 64.
This looks wonderful. Very flammable car there.
So really, their abilities in the art of awful games are legendary. I don't know, this is 6 years after Superman 64, and on different systems. This came out
they were
on
even
Xbox,
still around by
the
then.
PC port. What could go wrong? Well, for starters, let's look at the menu.
How do you last 6 years after
shitty
making
port when
Superman
menus
64?
work like console menus, and you press enter to select something and backspace to go back. It's not a big deal, I guess, but backspace? Why not escape, like every other fucking game ever? There's no video options whatsoever. You have to select a resolution before you play, and you get 16 bits per pixel rather than 32, like, well, I think every game I've ever played after 1998. Good job on that. Default controls aren't WASD in 2003. Giving them the benefit of the doubt, they're almost 5 years late on that. No adjusting mouse sensitivity, no video options. The game gave me the option of running in widescreen, but I don't think it was designed for that. We'll just jump in, normal skill like always. We get the patented Robocop news footage. Minus the actual people you're used to seeing in the movies. Okay, I get it. This is a game. It doesn't have a budget. I'll allow it.
In politics, the electoral campaign for mayor of Neo Detroit was launched this morning by incumbent Mayor Thomas Crawford. During his kickoff speech, the mayor sought to reassure his constituency by enumerating the measures he would take to halt the skyrocketing crime rate of Neo Detroit.
I thought that's what Robocop was for. He don't take no shit or bullets or nothing. Invincible cyborg Jesus Charles Bronson. Hey, Robocop doesn't look too bad. This all looks fine.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
far.
it looks
I don't think it's fair to
fairly
say that
accurate.
Robocop's animations are stiff since, well,
that's
Robocop.
you expect
Before
that.
the mission, you can look at
Proper.
info and evidence. We've got James Estefan, 48 years old, head of research at OCP, that's Omni Consumer Products for the uninitiated. I'm sure they're behind whatever's going on. They always are. Here we go,
Yeah.
right into downtown. For each mission, you get primary and secondary objectives. Primary is the stuff you have to do, and the game could give a shit about the secondary. Here we have to restore order in the neighborhood, which means blowing away some creeps. Secondary is evacuate civilians and arrest 10 gangsters. Arrest? Nah, they're gonna be shooting at me, so...
Yeah, I don't really remember RoboCop arresting a whole lot of people. Kind of just... Yeah.
Ammunition. Look out!
Not the cop you get for
Take it
that.
hostage. Save him. Don't shoot. I give up.
You are under arrest.
Okay.
That was easy. First punk I see gives up. Yeah, this screen is a mess. Robocop highlights targets, and not just criminals. Criminals get highlighted in red, then blue when they give up. Civilians are always highlighted in blue, and pickups get highlighted in green. You might be forgiven for thinking this is an N64 game because the graphics are not
does
good.
kinda look like
Models
one.
are low poly, textures are small. Honestly, it looks like if somebody took GoldenEye and ported it to PC, maybe added a few details here and there, and some particle effects, but it's ugly. You're up against criminals that barely scratch you with bullets. That checks out, you're Robocop. The whole point is that a few dicks with shotguns can't blow them apart. You can zoom in, your gun is extremely accurate. You can lock onto targets, which might have been useful if you had an Xbox controller, but I have a mouse, even if it is a little sluggish. The targeting is a little obnoxious, but this seems like a faithful recreation of Robocop. You're slow, a bullet sponge, you basically just trudge around and shoot gangsters. You have a shield and power. Power is health, by the way. Shields you get by picking up
Guess
these
that makes
wrench
sense.
things. And you get power by eating baby food.
Energy.
Really?
That Robocop voice isn't even bad. He doesn't have nearly enough lines, but we can forgive that. This isn't Superman 64 levels of bad.
Yeah, it looks significantly better than Superman 64.
You're supposed to be able to get people to surrender with non-fatal gunshot wounds, but there's a couple problems with this. Shooting someone in the head can easily kill them. The enemy AI is really, really dumb. Location-based damage is definitely glitched because I shoot this lady in the head and she's ready to be arrested.
Please, I beg you.
Good for her.
Help me.
Oh.
It's time for peak Robocop. We're gonna try and shoot somebody in the dick.
We'll fix you. They fix everyone.
Yeah.
Your move, creep. You're surrounded by a dozen criminals all
That
shooting
didn't
at
go
you
very
from
well.
rooftops, catwalks, windows, and it would be extremely frustrating if their weapons did any real damage. There's guys with miniguns and they're a joke. I mean, it is the first level. You have to clear the way into a tunnel, and how else would you do that except a cartoon dynamite bomb in future Detroit? I guess it isn't future Detroit anymore. Whenever Robocop picks up ammo, he says,
Ammunition.
regardless of what ammo it is. So learn what these pickups are. The game's not going to tell you. Whenever you're near a civilian that you have to rescue, old chief guy, who unfortunately isn't this dude.
Robocop, there are civilians in your sector.
Yes, sir, Mr. General, sir.
Yeah, okay, some hobos, but that's the job, protect and serve.
Robocop, a skunk is hiding out in the sewers of the neighborhood. Get them out. Over and out.
Of course. I shoot all the bad guys and... Cool, awesome.
Congratulations, Robocop. Your mission was a success.
Looks like every level is going to open with a news report.
A dangerous new drug has hit the streets of our fair city, called brain drain.
Okay, so sometimes I have these real bad flashbacks.
They're called dissociative episodes, CV11.
Okay, listen, you know, there's a Batman Forever clip that I want. No, it's not. It's the Val Kilmer one.
Yeah,
and Jim
yeah.
Carrey is the Riddler.
It's not
yeah,
great.
It's awful. But he says brain drain while he drains somebody's brain, and I need you to put that in. Can you do that? Just go to YouTube and search for Jim Carrey brain drain. Jim Carrey is an actor, Katie. He doesn't pay. Oh my god!
Yeah, he's kind of gotten a bit weird.
Called brain drain, according to police sources, this plague will impact a large number of the city's drug addicts.
So the current drug addicts are going to be drug addicts. They're not shooting crocodile yet, right?
Robocop, we just got some disturbing news. Several influential citizens of Neo Detroit, including the chief of police, Commissioner John McDowell, have disappeared.
John McDowell.
Yeah, his middle name's Mac.
According to one of our informants, they've been kidnapped.
Last name
this
Dowell.
guy even told us
What's
where
wrong
they're
with
holding
that?
them captive. He says it's the city dump. You need to get right over there, and above all, be extremely careful. I don't like the smell of this case at all.
It's cute because it's a dump. Okay, time to take care of business.
Got to get them out as fast as possible.
Thanks. You saved my life.
There are civilians in your sector. Got to get them out as fast as possible.
Ammunition.
There are civilians in your sector.
Okay, I get it, old man. I understand.
This guy's a serious asshole.
Now, this is fine. Guy shooting at me from behind draw distance fog. I can handle this. You got this guy driving some kind of flame-throwing robot landfill machine. You don't even have to shoot the machine itself, just the guy riding it. It makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
There are civilians in your sector. Got to get them out as fast as possible.
Oh no, it's one of those games where explosions are instant death. If only I had a clip from Robocop that showed that he might be a little bit more resistant to explosions.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did it explode anyway? I shot
Yeah, that's what I'm
the
wondering.
mech. Fuck you, game.
Does the phrase police academy ring any bells?
Hey, look, I got a machine gun attachment for Robocop's arm. Katie, I need the Beetlejuice again.
Nice fucking model!
I know you kids have seen it before, but it makes me feel better. More of those mech things coming out of the goddamn walls.
Oh, yeah, that's not great.
I think it's time to wreck some of this machinery. It is being used for evil, after all. What?
Oh.
Does the
Yeah, we wasn't even close to that.
any bells?
Yeah, shitty 80s comedies. Robocop doesn't need the police academy. He's programmed, you dick. What the fuck even happened? There is no way I was close enough to that explosion. No, I wasn't, but there was a hostage hiding behind this machine. Old there's a hostage in the area, and you better ignore all the shooter instincts and not shoot this barrel.
Okay, that's annoying.
At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot.
Just because it's delayed like that.
And there's these guys with flamethrowers who, if you hit them in the wrong spot, like in the shoulder or the chest, they explode. And you can't see that there's a hostage in this building, and he's not coming out. But since the location-based damage is fucked, shooting this guy anywhere is a gamble. But I'm a pro, so I found a workaround, which is exploiting how broken this game is and pressing the use key outside of the shack and rescuing the hostage that way, then blowing the flamethrower guy away.
Ammunition.
And here's another hostage they put right next to an explosive barrel. Fuck off! Finally, I get through the first section of the dump, on to the next. The AI is somehow even worse. There's times they won't even notice you're there. The fucking 7-foot chrome cyborg shooting everything.
This guy's just very invested in what he's looking at there.
This giant robot spider boss isn't too much trouble, you know, unless he launches a missile that might possibly hit 10 feet behind me. Robocop moves way too slow to avoid this kind of stuff, so just stay away from walls in general. Wait, what? I'm all the way back here?
Oh.
You see this icon, this one that shows up before a level transition? You'd think that it would be a save icon. What would that be in a disc, and that games, you know, typically do that? It's not. It's a you're about to load the next level icon. Because there is no save icon. Because there's no saving in the middle of a level. There's no saving in the middle of a mission. There's missions in the game, and you get to save after you beat each one. That's not just console bullshit, because there's plenty of console games that had mid-level checkpoints by 2003.
Yeah.
This is a special kind of bullshit. So if you die, say, 10 seconds away from the end of the mission in the city dump, you go back 3 maps and have to rescue all those hostages, mow down
that's
criminal that poses no threat to you, and avoid every explosion that might come your way, you know, in an FPS game. And once you get to the third part of the mission, the game sets you up to get fucked over. There's a guy with a flamethrower in this tunnel right next to these 3 explosive barrels.
And there's a hostage nearby, I'm guessing? Or just a hazard.
Does the phrase police academy ring any bells?
And the next mission is easy. Hey, somebody's behind that door and they have Quake 3's rocket launcher.
Frags left.
I know it's from a sound effects library, but they should have tried harder. Hey, look, it's Ed 209. I'd be shocked if Ed 209 didn't make an appearance. And he fires rockets at you, but since you're at the beginning of the mission, it doesn't really matter if you die. I know what you're thinking. Civvie, you fucked up. And you're right, I did. It's not the game's fault. Well, it is the game's fault because it's a shit port, but it's my fault for not realizing until the 3rd or 4th mission that it's because I'm playing on super duper hardware that this game wasn't meant for. So these explosions, they shouldn't be as deadly, and these particle effects, they're all fucked up, but they shouldn't be. To fix it, I had to enable VSync, but there's no graphics options in the game, so I had to use a fucking wrapper to force VSync so that it worked. And you know what? The particle effect thing? That's absolutely correct. The explosion damage? Still bullshit. It's slightly less bullshit with VSync on, but it's still bullshit. Fun fact, I didn't talk about the grenade launcher yet. This is how it works with VSync off. This is how it works with VSync on.
Ammunition.
Yeah.
It's very professional to tie your game's physics to the frame rate. Just ask Bethesda. Oh yeah, and even with VSync on, the animations are still terrible. Another giant robot boss with missiles, and of course it fucking kills me the first time. And of course the giant robot doesn't immediately explode when you kill it. No, it takes 10 seconds.
Stop next. We need him alive. He could be a valuable source of information.
Oh, you mean stop a human? Sure. Is he gonna fucking Allahu Akbar me? No, he takes a couple of shots in the arm and gives up. Next mission is in a cathedral that's split off from Detroit. Sure, fine, whatever.
Okay.
There's an open case about Edward DeMarco here. Maybe we can get some info on him. Now, according to Directive 4...
Any attempt to arrest a senior officer of OCP results in shutdown.
Not only am I not allowed to arrest OCP executives, I'm not allowed to know what they look like, their sex, weight, hair color, race, height, age, eye color. You know, all the stuff the news told me earlier with a picture.
Yeah,
the cathedral map is a little more interesting to look
That's
at.
A great
Too
point.
bad it was designed by an idiot. You have to go up this spiral staircase to hit 2 switches, but you have to hit them in order. The first one, you have to drop onto a roof here, which is above the room you started in, and yes, Robocop takes fall damage, and yes, the designers put in an area where you're required to take fall damage. And no, there's no feedback on it, it just happens. So you have to go up there twice, for no reason really, other than to waste your fucking time. Oh, and the enemies turn invisible now. They're not any more of a threat really, but they turn invisible. So one switch activates another switch, which opens a door over here, which has a room where you walk over a touch plate to move this altar so you can get into the catacombs. And I'm guessing Detroit doesn't have any giant Gothic cathedrals with medieval catacombs under them. Just a hunch.
Probably not.
Burn him down.
Oh, joy. A flash of blue light and death. I guess God's finally decided to punish me. It's about time. Now, that's this thing. whatever cyborg this is. It jumps around faster than any other enemy and shoots blinding particle effects at you. If you're extremely lucky, it kills you in 2 hits. But if you get blindsided by it at the start of a level, well, tough shit, you're back to the beginning of the mission. If one of these things is around, you drop everything to shoot at it and stun lock it so it can't do whatever this attack is. Looks like magic to me. I got a rocket launcher somewhere. The rocket launcher, I'm not even sure it's textured. Like it's just a solid color with a shiny chrome effect on it. The AI is still stupid, so let's play a game of chicken with it in this tunnel. Whose bullshit splash damage will win?
Oh. Yeah, I guess not yours.
You know what's fun? Playing the same fucking level 10 times only to get to a bullshit, unfair, badly designed area that keeps killing you, and you have to finish the game to make a video?
You're not supposed to talk about that, Civvie.
The administrator has drafted a memo about metahumor used in videos.
That's fucking discriminatory right there. I want my lawyer for this. Nobody else here makes videos, so that's gotta be illegal.
Civvie 18 has started an informational cooking show.
Alright, boys and girls, for this recipe what you need is a lighter and a spoon and the adrenal gland of a small human.
And we also use the adrenal gland.
Huh.
Friends, Katie.
I mean, there's not much more to talk about, except this mine level. It sucks. After you get through the catacombs, there's a mine that leads to a secret entrance to a lab, but it's this huge, confusing mess of water and tracks and caves, and it sucks. It's awful. It's badly designed, and you're thinking, you know, just follow the arrows. And sometimes I might accidentally or completely intentionally shoot the arrows, and they do this. That's just fucking great. As far as I can tell, you have a secondary objective to destroy these boxes, and once you go around this whole maze to do that, the last one spawns the keycard you need to exit. And there aren't any one-hit kill cyborgs in this level, so there's nothing to kill you. It's just boring and shitty, and I wander around for like an hour trying to find out where the fuck I'm supposed to go. The game is generous enough to give you a save point afterwards, because you'll be dead not long into the next mission. You walk in, you get this ray gun, and it does good damage. It takes 5 or 6 shots to down one of these horrible things.
Oh.
And it's animated really poorly. Look at this shit. What is this, fucking Quake 1? This is 2003! And upon rigorous closer inspection, what the fuck is this shit? So my working theory is that if you step in front of this door, that's a trigger to spawn this thing, and if you step on it again, it despawns that thing, and if you step on it again, it respawns that thing. Why your trigger would be a toggle for a monster ambush that isn't an ambush because it's supposed to be there, but the timing's off, because you can see it's not here when the door opens, and so his plan is that he uses television to take people's brains, and at the end he thinks he's Batman, but then he's never mentioned again, but then his costume is in Batman and Robin when they break out Mr. Freeze, so he's still there. What I'm trying to say is that, oh boy, I'm walking down this tunnel because I gotta get the keys to the fast boat. Yeah, the fast boat. You know, a fast boat.
You gotta love a good fast boat.
And the key is over here, and this giant digging machine is here, so I wonder what could possibly happen when I walk down. No, that's it. That's the whole thing. It's an easily escapable situation that wouldn't fool a child. And the wheels don't move, and the tread doesn't move.
Wow.
And when you try, it sound like shattering glass. The fast boat takes you to an oil rig, you know, off the coast of Detroit, and once you get inside the thing, fuck! Oh yeah, Edward DeMarco just got elected and Robocop killed him, totally.
Newsflash. Robocop, who until now has held the total trust and respect of the city, has just assassinated Edward DeMarco, the mayor of Neo Detroit. The security guards responsible for protecting the mayor were unable to act, faced with Robocop's murderous rage.
You didn't even see this. There's no footage, and I have a feeling the Detroit Police Department can safely say that Robocop was at an oil rig at the time, since Robocop has, like, video and trackers and shit.
What about tracking? You check his exact location at all times with one of these.
So it doesn't matter. You're not on the run or anything. Not like when Robocop got framed before and all the cops shot him, and now...
Robocop, we don't have much time. We're all with you, and we know it's not your fault.
And now you're going into the OCP building to take on the Mind, which controls all of the drug.
Called Brain Drain.
Brain Drain! And you get a lightning gun that looks shitty but does a ton of damage. I know, because the other cyborgs
that
have
is
it,
pretty
but
terrible.
it attaches to your arm, so you lose the machine gun. Then you run around this ring and disable these computers and get on the elevator, and that's it. You're at the final boss arena, and the final boss is an embarrassing mess. Did you guys know that this was Titus's last game? Because they were bad at making video games, and it only took 20 years for anyone to notice. This final boss, I don't know, this is the kind of design incompetence that shouldn't happen. It's so fundamentally stupid. Okay, so when the game doesn't want you to move, it'll lock you in place, and you have to sit and watch while this robot gets picked up by this cyber tentacle that clips into the floor all wrong and takes it away, and it'll come out of one of the 4 holes in the wall. And it does this thing where it sweeps the area, but most of the arena is completely off limits from it. You could stand behind it and it won't get you, and what you're supposed to do is stand right in front of it and you shoot these little weak spots that appear. I don't know, sometimes, whenever. It takes fucking ages even when it hits you and it knocks you around. It doesn't really take too much health off. It doesn't even show its weak spots every time. You have to wait and wait and wait until it starts randomly using lasers, or one time that one hit blue energy stuff from before that it used exactly one time.
That's wonderful.
This boss is easy, right? But it seems to take forever. I played it 3 times. I beat it the first time, but the second time he got me with the blue shit. And I know what you're thinking, why did you have to play him again if you beat him the first time? Because once he's dead, it activates a self-destruct sequence, and you have to disarm it. And how you disarm it is entirely based on trial and error. You have 2 minutes and 6 consoles. You have to put one of the 6 codes into each console. You have no hints as to which code goes where, so you have to guess. You guess wrong on a console 3 times and all of them rearm, and the codes change every time you play,
to be acceptable?
So you can't write them down and do it later. That's the real final boss of the game, a bullshit completely out of nowhere puzzle section. It's harder than the actual final boss, and it killed me as many times.
Oh, shit.
I spent 40 minutes playing this one section. You get a save point before it, thankfully, but most of it was waiting for the boss to do something.
Really bad game design.
Oh, I guess that's it.
The revelations of
Couldn't they have
Professor
just done that
Esteban
earlier?
rocked our community like a bombshell. The scientists who worked in the highest of secrecy for OCP brought forth evidence implicating the directors of OCP in the assassination of Neo-Detroit Mayor Edward DeMarco.
It turns out that Omni Consumer Products, who serve as the antagonists of the series, are evil. Robocop is good. Shocking, this game is terrible. Maybe not Superman 64 terrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
releasing this piece of shit in 2003, even on the Xbox, that's not going to keep your company afloat. I don't know how they survived the 90s with those N64 games. Speaking of companies that shouldn't still be around because they put out broken shit, Bethesda.
Wow, okay.
Is that okay? Is that okay for end of the episode?
Firing shots
Don't
there.
play Fallout 64.
I
Shit,
wasn't
I
playing
forgot the
it.
most important clip. Katie.
I'd buy that for $1.
Well, that was entertaining. The game, yeah, definitely did not did not look very high quality. Let's just say.
Listen, paying $14.99.
I mean, knowing it's by the same developers as Superman 64, that kind of helps it a little bit because, I mean, they improved. They definitely improved from their last project. But, yeah, that's not really much of a feat when you really look at it. And, yeah, those look terrible. Like, not just, like, straight up laughably bad. Like, the controls looked at least competent, sort of, for a shooter. But, just game design, level design, just all the little things. It just seemed to get them all wrong. And, that adds up to a frustrating and just not very fun experience. But yeah, great review, very fun. I like his sense of humor, very kind of dry and just a lot of matter-of-fact type stuff, and some fun jokes along the way. Yeah, very enjoyable video. Not much else to say. Hope you guys liked the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.